When is a first-time home buyer, or maybe they haven't bought a home in 30 or 40 years, things are different. How can they best be prepared to walk into buying a home?
Yeah. So yeah, and if you haven't bought a home in 30 years, you might as well just call yourself a first-time home buyer. It is so different. Yeah, absolutely. The language, some of the language is different. The terms are different. So many things are different than they were 30 years ago. So the best preparation I think that you can do is find an agent, team, whatever, that you feel comfortable with, and make sure that you start asking them questions. You can research questions to ask. I mean, you type that in, you're going to get a whole bunch of questions that you should be asking the agents and the teams, and what to expect, what goes on. But do the research. Look into the towns that you're looking into. Follow some of the properties that are listing and selling. Where are they located? If you can, try to get down to the town or that area on your own without even having an appointment with a real estate, just to experience that if you haven't been there before. Because you just want to kind of look at things through your own personal eyes and not have to feel rushed. Okay? At the same time, what you really want to do is you want to set your agent's expectations as well. If you're just getting started and you want the process to be a slower process, there's certain things that you need to know and understand, make sure you're expressing that to the agent so the agent fully understands your process and how you do things, so you don't feel like you're just getting bulldozed down the street. But that's what the agent, well, so you're coming down to buy a house, let's go. That's the way they're thinking. They're working, right? It's a job. To be honest, it's a job. So that they're doing their job in an effort to get themselves paid at the end of the day. So you as the client has to set the expectations just as much as the agent needs to set the expectations back to the client. And that, to me, is the best way to approach it, because then there's clear understanding of what the process is. And then for us here, where we are, it's a little unique being a secondary home market. Sometimes the style of properties, what a property is deemed, is not understood by mortgage companies that are not from this area. And it might sound ridiculous, but I can tell you, dozens and dozens and dozens of deals a year are not fulfilled and don't close because all of a sudden the lender can't lend on a given property because they didn't understand the exact terminology or exactly what it was. Once they get into the condo documents and once they get into the particulars, now all of a sudden they can't finance it because the buyer didn't want to use a local lender. They wanted to use their friend or their family member or their person that does their primary mortgages from home. So 100%, I highly recommend that you ask your agent about any preferred lenders or who are the primary lenders in the area that they would recommend. At least A/B it. At least A/B it with the person that you're using at home. I mean, I have a deal right now that's currently happening. The buyer wanted to use their agent. I told them, I advised them not to. Not because I didn't like the lender, I know the lender, but it's because I know that they can't lend on this style property. And then all of a sudden, certain information came back to the lender and he's now waffling a little bit and the buyer's frustrated. And it was a little bit of like, this is why I gave you the information for this other person, which is a good thing because he's contacting them. But without knowing that, the buyer would just walk into a deal blind, and 30 days in, all of a sudden they can't buy it. Yeah. And everyone's angry, frustrated, and nobody wins, right? The seller doesn't sell their property. The buyer doesn't get the property that they want to build their future on and build their dreams with if they're trying to do the second home for their family. And the agents involved don't get paid. Nobody wins.